We're different here. We don't just get up for another day. We rise. We don't just work. We endeavor. We're women and men, for and with others. We have hope, we believe, and we celebrate. Why are we different?
So we can be the difference.
Our academic and applied esports program provides our competitive gamers a national stage to compete with other Division I universities. Our academic objective allows us to use esports to foster innovative, interdisciplinary connections.
Esports right now is an ever-expanding career field, and having the opportunity to showcase its many facets through education is really inspiring.
We have one final game left to play for the EGF Power Series Valorant, and I am, I am really, really ready for this game, Worst, because we just saw something that really lifted our spirits in that last game. Just some people really having fun on a Valorant server. My name's Wes Rambo. We got one more to play. It's going to be U of Idaho versus William and Mary.
Yeah, and for these teams, I think it is kind of expected what is to occur. Just look at the results so far: 0-2 for Idaho, 2-0 for William and Mary, and those are 2 wins off the best teams in the group, and honestly, some of the best we've seen in the prelims. So those are no easy feats. So William and Mary obviously going to want to do this to try and secure that first seed as much as possible. Still a double round robin to go. Every map does matter, and every map does really gonna matter if you go up against, let's say you repeat a match against a Marquette and you lose. It's really gonna matter if you have these wins right here and right now.
Yeah, and you know, the likes of Marquette and WSU definitely have that chance. We already saw it, to take maps off of William and Mary. U of Idaho, on the other hand, they are in an uphill battle. There's no question about it. Getting serious for a second, U of Idaho do have a chance if they somehow get some sort of crazy sweep on the off-stream matches that will follow this. Otherwise, though, they are very much locked into last place against a group of death. There's just no other way to say it. We move on to Ascent here as William and Mary topping up the group and already showing us some incredible work on Ascent. In particular, you got to watch out for Banana Duck on that chamber. And well, hang on. Let's just take a look here. It looks like Banana Duck actually went over onto the Jet this time, and it's going to be Feint, who played Jet last time, switching over to the Reyna. So just as I say the chamber, it's going to be the switch over, so Banana Duck will go onto that Jet. Meanwhile, it's the classic. In fact, University of Idaho, if possible, have gone for something even more wacky here. Worst, it's going to be the triple duelist.
Also Viper coming out
and
as
Viper,
well,
yeah.
And William and Mary going for a little Banana Duck on that Jet, I assume, because they don't really need to be using the defensive utility that is offered by the chamber. Instead, going to be going fast and furious here. Again, we've seen it time and time again from Idaho. They don't like to make these rounds last too long, so they are going to be going to a site. Either they're going to the gulag. Either they win in 30 seconds or you win in 30 seconds. So
Exactly.
That is how this is going to end up, and they're all kind of doing a little dance and spawn right now to celebrate.
Yeah, we've seen some nice, poses for the photos. Last time it was WSU who got a really nice little photo up, kind of on that diagonal beam, steel beam, over at the back of a haven in the spawn. Hoping to see a little more of that coming through, as well as maybe some good Valorant here, like we have been seeing. So here's Feint trying to deal with this. There is the fake out coming through, but Feint and Feng still managing to get a serious amount of damage done. Helvenator and Bailey answering back, but it's going to be Mob and Feint coming through. And yeah, that was just an absolute duel right there. Everybody's just firing at 10 paces.
Yeah, everyone's firing at 10 paces indeed. And now we're going to try and see how what this next round's going to look like. I assume it's going to look like much of the same, with Idaho going as fast as possible onto a site and the other one is going to be kind of just waiting, letting them walk into their waiting arms.
Yeah, you know, we'll see what kind of, you know, economy and weaponry shenanigans end up occurring in this one. There's never any guarantee. Ooh, Feint. Really, really good with that Sheriff, and the Reyna going to be put to good use in this map, that's for sure. Misses this one, but there's Xander going down, and there's Joe as well. Feint with some Sheriff work for the ages. Guacamole to punish. Only going to be Jailbach remaining. Jiggle peeking with a classic. 100 HP left. But very little else to work with, and flawless round as Banana Duck finishes.
Flawless round comes through, and they are again in good shape. We have a lot of data to go off of for these two teams this matchup here. So the bonus could be a bit of contention here for Idaho. Not even going to have a lot of money on particularly Joe, who is kind of lacking for cash after their previous spending spree. And so we'll see how they end up trying to make an execute onto this site. I assume the shorty going to be picked up, maybe a bucky of them. Yeah, that is a shorty. One of the shotguns, and typically going to be a cheap one.
No armor either. Goes glass cannon shorty. A cannon indeed, and Joe's going to go in first. Maybe try to use that teleportation, but already Jalbach is denied the Marshall headshot. Here's Bailey trying to create some space as Joe already is deep into hell, but the kills come through thick and fast, and with only a shorty left, Joe does get one. Guacamole goes down, but William and Mary take care of that very, very easily.
And what is there to say that we haven't really
That
really
is
said
really the
before
question,
for this
isn't
team?
it? This is we are the ones who need to.
We're kind of stuck in this
dig
time
deep
loop
here.
right now, where like every time we're like, hey, let's come to bargain, and the bargain's never going to change. So
Yep.
I don't. It's not much to say except for kind of talking about for William and Mary looking into the playoffs potentially, going up into the playoffs against potentially a Wichita State. Or
Delaware.
Delaware, yeah, I think those two are the big ones.
Yep. More kills to come through. I will mention that we did have Invasive Karma of Quinnipiac into the Twitch chat saying, don't roast stingers. Worst, your thoughts?
You're just trying to get me started on something here, and it will work. Okay, the stinger is just not good. You have a sheriff, which is just better. One tap to the head, just aim better, and it'll be infinitely better for you. Like, the stinger was just like, it just is not a good weapon. It just isn't. The sheriff is literally better and cheaper. The marshal is better and cheaper. Buy any of those two guns, and you'll have infinitely more success. Stop buying stingers.
Well, Kelvinator has got the spike down. And actually has got mobbed with a snake bite straight up into the air. Feint also does not have the read. Kelvinator's got the snake bite out again, and Feint turns around. That's all the space Feint will need. Going to start defusing in the snake bite and going to be successful. So actually, University of Idaho did have kind of a good look there, and with the Viper's Pit being used, William and Mary did have to expend a little bit of extra energy to grab that round, but well, back to you.
Back to me. Okay. Yeah. No, we'll end that there. I've said what I need to say. I think the results speak for themselves, and I think the teams that buy that weapon also have little success on those rounds they buy them. So I think we'll just leave it up to that.
It's hard to beat that round where stingers were
They
bought
have 5
and
stingers running
had
at
to finish it
and
off
they
with the
cannot
sheriff
kill people.
anyway.
They cannot kill people. Like, they have 5 people running down a corridor with stingers shooting at someone from mid-range, and they cannot kill them. It is legitimately disturbing.
Yeah, definitely a little vindication there. Feng has picked up the Odin, another commonly seen weapon in these last kind of fading matches of the day. Here's Kelvinator with a nice trade. Feint goes down. And Joe, for the angle. Feng lies in wait. Will Joe decide to flash this out? It's a tough angle to flash. It's the thing. So Feng, even if their flash comes out, Feng might be able to hold their ground and still get something. Now you can see Xander in mid. Feng picked up the Bucky, another favorite for Idaho. And there we go. Joe does get Feng in the end. Teleports away. There's Banana Duck, who has worked their way all the way into spawn. Guacamole with a pinch, and Joe with no chance fighting against 2 there. William and Mary. These rounds are taking a little longer. Idaho a little bit more measured, but still not able to match up to the firepower of William and Mary.
And now we have to see, when does the shenanigans really start?
That's true.
It took over the last game. There was a bit of that moment in the Marquette game where there was just some amount of just insane shenanigans that occurred for just one round and one round only, and then it was just kind of over. So, I mean, seeing how that works out for these teams, like when is the devolving point, right? When does it get to the critical mass of Idaho, where you kind of get to the point where you're like, oh man, I gotta go crazy now and just start doing random wacky things. So I want to kind of run an experiment on that.
When do we go full Idaho? Exactly. That is the question. And last, on Haven, it took 8 or 9 rounds, has to be said, to really, really get there. Xander with an absolutely unhinged crosshair. That is so wide. That's the widest crosshair I've ever seen in my life.
I've seen some wide crosshairs, actually.
Have you now?
Yeah, on the prelim as well. There was a that's
How
the widest
can
crosshair?
you get headshots with
Okay,
this?
so imagine that, but you see the reticle sights of the areas.
Yeah.
That's the crosshair, but bigger. Actually, unironically, we had that on the other day, the day before. There was one player, I forget the name, but they had that on a chamber, and they had the biggest crosshair I've ever seen.
That's.
Spike down.
I'm speechless. I'm left
remaining.
speechless by that.
30 seconds
Joe,
remaining.
with a stealth mission though. Feng had no idea. Not prepared for the Yoru play there. And Joe with a bulldog. That's a great shot. Picks up the operator and gets out of dodge. The spike is nowhere near, so Joe is not going to be able to get anywhere close to winning this round. But instead, going to get rid of that pesky op.
Left.
Yeah. We don't play with those. Using classics instead, says Joe. Ain't. Shuts him down.
Shuts him down. And we try to see, where do you go from this as a team? You know, it's last prelim. Idaho obviously had a lot of fun. Like did similar results the last time they were here. Except against St. John's, they got like 5 rounds because St. John's was doing like it was interesting because I was like watching Idaho like actually like not like they're not trying now, but like try to make plans against them. And what ended up happening was St. John was actively falling into those plans, even if they had better mechanical skill. Like Idaho was still like outplaying them some rounds, and it was very, very, very fun to watch. But at this point, I think the teams they're playing against this time around are way too disciplined for that to work.
Yeah, too disciplined, maybe a little bit too. You know, they're just so organized. Like, it is a totally different kind of Valorant. Yep. We didn't see that at all. No, Elevator goes down.
Spectre would have got that. Sheriff would have got that.
A little bit of revisionist history there for ignoring that stinger kill, but
didn't happen.
But William and Mary do put up a 7th, and yeah, you know, it's not just the skill differential, because there are some players on Idaho where if you kind of use the eye test, they can aim all right, but it's clearly, like, William and Mary have done some serious practice. They might have brought a coach in. They've got, set plays. They have organized defaults, and that is just, it's almost like a totally different game. And that's why what I like about seeing this group of death is seeing those really, really prepared teams go against each other, punctuated by, a match like this sometimes where everybody's just having a good time. Definitely don't begrudge University of Idaho for that. Know how to have fun in Valorant right now, and Feint. Little shutdown Bailey. Feint is not letting up right now. Look at those headshots. Here comes Feint once again. That's a 4th. That's a 4th right there, pardon me. And Feng steals away the ace. Feint is mauling in VC right now.
I would be too. It is what it is. As the ace not going to get secured there, as it was in the last series we had with Idaho, where it was secured for... I'm blanking on the name, but it was a KO, I believe. Maybe it was an Omen. I don't know. Brain empty.
I think it was Demetrius on the Reyna.
Yes, yeah. Wait, was it? I don't know. Again, head empty. Yeah. Whatever the meme is.
There's been a lot of Valorant today, folks.
You know the meme at home. I've had a lot of Valorant the last 2 days to consume.
Yeah.
A lot of memes got through this head.
I just want to call out, compliment our lovely color caster Worst right here, because you've been doing this all day, man. You've done every single match in this group so far, and you know, color casting takes a lot of brain power. I do not envy you here. You know, and then having to come up with analysis for a game like this at the end. You're my hero, dude.
Oh, there's the analysis. Idaho is based, okay? So everyone at home, Idaho is Omega based. So
Absolutely.
They still try to have some fun with it. Joe's always been brings a smile to my face every time I see that name in all chat. So it's been even with series like these, sometimes some teams can make it hard. Not Idaho. Idaho doesn't make it hard. Idaho makes it Idaho makes you smile at least. So I love to see that. But again, looking forward in this prelim 3. Get a lot of good teams still coming up. I mean, I just want to see Delaware against this team as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's just so against William and Mary. I think them getting out of this group of death, it's a similar story to Marquette. Like, they were in the group of death, well, they didn't get out, but I think William and Mary have overcome that, right, and might get out now.
And the likes of DePaul as well, waiting for them in that final tournament. The likes of, you know, Florida, I believe, is in there as well. Here's the Hunter's Fury, by the way. Feng is going to do a lot of damage with that, as Kelvinator left on site along with Jalbak, who falls as well. A flawless round. I like University of Idaho there. Having learned from their opponents last game, they went with a crab walk strategy into the site.
Yeah, and not happening this time around.
But yeah, you know, that final tournament is a very, very exciting prospect, right? From some of the stuff we've seen. You know, these teams, not only are they getting closer and closer in level, everybody's playing up to each other's level, but they've got vastly different approaches to the game and styles, right? You know, their coaches, if they've got one, are definitely having different ideas. They've got different star players who are playing things differently. And, you know, in that final tournament is going to be when we see it all come to fruition. So, you know, when we talk about these teams like William and Mary, WSU, and Marquette trying to, you know, vie for their spot, they're playing for what was going to be a very competitive and exciting tournament that nobody is going to want to miss. So make sure you're following all those EGF socials and all those EGF Twitch channels so that you don't miss out. Because yeah, I'm so excited about that. There's Joe. We will ignore that kill. It didn't happen. 4 versus 4 remaining in the round as Joe.
It's guacamole. It can't fight back. It's a
condiment.
It's a pile. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it. Is it more akin to like I guess
like
not a sauce.
Like a sauce?
A salsa. Like a salsa. It's like a salsa. I don't know what you call salsa. Salsa a condiment?
Well, salsa is just...
Yeah, a dip. Dip. My producer
salsa is just Spanish for sauce.
That's why my producer Juke does the producing.
Yeah, dip.
Because they're the smart person.
Player standing.
True.
Yeah. Don't go follow them, by the way. Go follow our producer, Juke Casts. One word. Go follow them. They got a lot of good stuff. So, they also say it's a dip. You know, like a dip can't fight back, so killing it with a stinger is not really that impressive. I think.
I think a dip can't fight back. You should see my spicy French onion.
Okay, I don't touch French onion. That stuff scares me. I think it's like, I don't know. I feel like every time I go near that, I'm like, it seems like it's not going to be good.
Well, that's fighting back in a way in its own, you know, in its own right.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know what you're talking about, but I mean, it's just like, I don't know. It's just not for me. I'm not a French onion enjoyer. I'm a tomato soup kind of guy.
More for me, I guess. Once we get to land, I'll remember that for when I bring dips for the after party.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What happens in the land? the petty land joke arguments turn into bringing dips and stuff for people. I guess I don't know how it goes over there.
Win-win in my opinion, honestly.
There's Odin's in a spawn. I think that about sums it up pretty well.
Yeah, we got a 12-0 half on our hands, folks, and we're reduced to talking about land dip.
Land dip.
Feint has put up 20 kills in the half.
Want to point out, William and Mary might be the only team not to drop a map here to Idaho.
Never say never, but it is possible. William and Mary, if anything, seem even more dominant somehow than the other two teams.
Somehow.
And of course, they do look like the strongest team in the group, which is already like something that I'm very excited about for William and Mary because of, like we've talked about already, how much they've improved. And that's really cool to see. It means that they've got, and this is something that I love about these tournaments, is that the esports projects, I say this over what we're seeing on our screen right now, you know, take it with a grain of salt, but I love what we see from these esports projects for these schools, you know, how they make different approaches to the game and how many of them can really, oh, okay. Guacamole gets the double kill. Yeah, the dip bites back indeed. Somebody put some raw onions in there. Kaladi, oh my god, says Joe. It's only Bailey remaining on the Jet. 75 HP to their name, and here come the footsteps. You know this is oh, I thought they were gonna go for a knife, but it's Mob in the end, and as you say, Worst, 13-0 is the score. The first one of the day, and the last map of the day for the stream. So there you go. I mean, we had a lot of very good Valorant. We had a lot of fun at the end of the day, Worst. But overall, you know, your thoughts on this group? Because like we say, we've just been able to, we've had the fortune of casting a group of death with 3 really big teams. And everybody's going to be keeping an eye on that bracket as they play more games off stream to see who of these 3, you know, big contenders makes it through.
Yeah. And I think as things are wavy, I don't know what's going on my side. It's always fine until it's not. Technology, am I right? It's always fine until it's not. But yeah, I think for these teams here, obviously this is going to be the end of the broadcasted matches for today. There's going to be off-stream matches to kind of determine how those playoffs are going to shape up. We kind of give an inkling of what we know what's going to happen. Will Mary seem to be the favorites to get out? That could change if they go 0-3 and other kind of factors fall through. But I'm not going to be the statistician here today. I've always had trouble with that word. Hopefully got it there. And I just want to say, for Idaho, anyone from Idaho that is watching this back, still, a lot of respect for you guys. A lot of respect for you guys over there. Always, I mean, it's so fun watching you guys, casting you guys, seeing the all chat light up with Joe and all you guys, the Yoru play. That Yoru play on Ascent where he throws out the decoy from the back from Hell, and the Reyna shoots it, and he just pops out with the short, the Judge. It made my day. So still love watching that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to the EGF Power Series. We will return, so make sure that you have followed all of the socials, all the Twitch channels for EGF. That's official EGF, official EGF 2, 3, and I believe there's even 4. Also, of course, this channel right here, EGF Valorant, for all of your Power Series action. We will see you soon, and have a great night.